Hi everyone, this is Ron Reardon, and what we're talking about today is the Innovation Roadmap, Stage 1, at the beginning. Well, congratulations! You've conceived of something that you believe has market potential, and you might be just minutes away from having come up with this idea. You might have actually sketched it out on a napkin. Maybe you've actually built a prototype, or you've done some initial research and you're confused and you're saying, I need some help. Is there some kind of roadmap to this journey? It's a jungle out there, and jungles are confusing, they're scary, there's wild animals, there's hostile natives, and I need some help. Well, the one thing I want to talk to you about on this particular session is that you need to look before you leap. Before you spend any significant money, there's a lot of things you can do for free, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, if you're not familiar with who I am, let me just kind of give you a little bit of background. My tagline is your trusted guide for the innovation jungle. And you might say, that's a pretty strong claim. Who is this fellow? Has he got an ego trip or whatever? But, I'm an inventor just like you. I have 3 issued patents. Unfortunately, I was the inventor but not the owner, because it was when I was working at a Fortune 50 company, and our agreement was they would pay me for inventing, but then they owned it. I've also been a member and in leadership in both a local inventors club and with the United Inventors Association, which is the most trusted organization for inventors that's out there educating and assisting inventors in every aspect. And I'm also a registered patent agent. That's how I feed my family, is by doing prior art searches and crafting and submitting patent applications for individual inventors and for owners of small businesses. Let's cover first, some common myths that most first-time inventors have. Myths are like, somebody might steal my idea, a poor man's patent will protect me, I can license my idea that's on the napkin, and the very first thing I should do is go out and get a patent, and then everything will follow from that, because if you have a patent, you're going to be rich. Let's cover them one by one. Someone might steal my idea. This is a very common reaction very shortly after conception, especially for first-time inventors, is that you've come up with this idea and you just get paranoid that somebody else might take it and move it to the marketplace, and you'll lose out. The reality is, and I'm sure there's exceptions to this, is that when your idea is under attack is when it's successfully selling in the marketplace, not at the beginning before all the heavy lifting has been done. So do the best you can to kind of keep your paranoia under wraps, because in reality, people are not going to steal your idea. Your idea gains value the more work that's been done. Let's talk about the poor man's patent. The whole concept behind a poor man's patent is that you can write down your idea in great detail, put it into an envelope, and then scotch tape that sucker and duct tape and some Gorilla Glue and all kind of stuff to keep this thing from being open, and mail it to yourself. And when it comes back with that postmark from the post office, then you kind of envision that one day in court or at the patent office inquiry, you could tear this thing open and prove that you invented this thing first, and somehow or another this gives you some kind of rights in the marketplace. The answer is no. It doesn't do anything. It's just a very common, persistent urban legend. Until they change the law, an inventor's notebook is your best friend at the beginning before filing a patent application. That's covered by trade secret law, and this should be bound like a book. It's in ink, the pages are numbered, it's witnessed and signed and all like that, and it shows when you came up with it and as you continue to work on the idea. License an idea on a napkin. If you've got an issued patent, a registered trademark, or copyrighted work, then the government has officially recognized you as the owner of one of those 3 items, and you can license them. But just a raw idea on a napkin, there's been no government involvement there. And while it's not impossible to license a raw idea, for all practical purposes, it doesn't happen. Now the last one is the formula that you have a patent, you're going to be rich. Well, Patents are not like Aladdin's lamp that you kind of stumble upon and you can rub it and the gold comes out. And they're also not the very first thing that you ought to do. No, but however, if you've got something that's selling very well in the marketplace and it's protected by a well-crafted and strong claims patent, then that's an ideal situation. I'll give you an example. Velcro had a very good patent, and they had follow-on patents after the initial one. And their trademark Velcro is very powerful, and of course they've been very successful because they've got both something that's selling very well and has many, many uses, and that's protected by a good, strong patent as well as their trademark. And here's an example that I like to use kind of tongue-in-cheek of a better mousetrap, quote, better, unquote, where this got a patent, but I don't think it ever sold any in the marketplace because there's just not that many intelligent and strong mice out there that would go after the cheese that's in the jug by taking that ball vertically and dashing in only to find out that they're hopelessly trapped. Now, when you look at the different stages of this journey, the first one that I recommend is the one called personal research, where you don't spend any money, you just invest your time. And if your idea gets killed there, good, you've not lost any money, and you made a good decision of not pursuing the concept because you assessed that it just wasn't going to be successful. Now, the next one is the professional research, where you're going to spend some money of getting professionals' official calculated opinion as to whether or not this is going to be successful in the marketplace. And then the real money really comes in the protection and commercialization stage, where if you're going to have your own company, you're going to have to raise the funds to take this thing to the market. And if you license it, then somebody else is going to make the decision that they can make more money, significantly more money, doing this than the investment is going to cost them to tool up for this. Now, when you look at your own personal research, there's basically 4 questions to answer. Is it already selling in the marketplace? Is it already patented? Is the brand name already taken? And is this really a promising idea? Now, when you look at already selling, you can go to google.com/products, key in some keywords that describe your invention, and all the products related to those keywords come out. The example that I have is electric car jack. Type in those words, you're going to see several electric car jacks. And that would let you know if you come up with the idea for electric car jack, it's been done. And unless you've got a more elegant, cost-effective solution, you probably shouldn't go there. You can also go to physical stores, such like if you would come up with a new pet product, you can go to Petco, PetSmart, look in the stores. Also look at competing products that are similar to yours, but perhaps less expensive and more elegant. And is it already patented? Once again, your friend of mine, google.com, this time /patents. Enter in the keywords that describe your invention. You can type in electric car jack, and you'll see that there's quite a few patents on electric car jacks, some of which morphed into products, some of which did not. Okay? Now, I want you to know that there are different levels of searches. When you do a word search at google.com/patents, you're going to find just those patents that have the words that you put in there. Like if you typed in mousetrap, you'll find all the mousetrap patents, but not all of them, because some of the mousetrap patents don't have the word mouse and trap in them. They'll have the words like rats, rodents, vermin, pests, small animals, bait stations, and the word mouse and trap is nowhere in the patent, but it's a patent for a mousetrap. So a word search does not get everything. You can have a classification search done by going to a patent repository at a local university, and the librarian there will help you look at the class, but there's nothing quite like a professional search that looks at U.S. and foreign patents and non-patent art to give you a professional opinion. And then there's always the patent examiners that have access to technology that allows them to find even more. If you've come up with a brand name like Mr. Pencil 5000, you can go to the USPTO website and click on the trademark search, and you can key in your brand name, for example, Spanx, which is a really great product and a great success story that I'm really fond of. and you'll find out that Spanx is already trademarked, but only for the classifications of clothing and for cosmetics, which means that if you'd come up with, let's facetiously say, an electric paddle, then you could call your electric paddle Spanx, and that might work. And lastly, is it a promising idea? You can ask others to find out if they really need your solution and find out what their price points are. You can ask for the self-assessment invention form that we've got just by giving us an email at rreardon@patentsandmore.com, and we'll be glad to send it to you. And so you can self-assess your invention on all these different dimensions, and if it scores under 60, then it's a no-go, and unless you want to really work on those areas of weakness. And if it's a score of 60 or higher, it's not a guarantee that you're going to be successful with it, but it does indicate that you should go to the next step. So as wrapping up, the key points is do everything free that you can before you spend any money. And if you have a lot of ideas, like most creative people do, research all of them. Put all of them through this rigor that we just talked about, and then just pick just one for the next step. So, here's a checklist saying, yes, I've done the online product search. Yes, I did a physical store search. Yes, I did an online patent search. Yes, I did an initial marketing assessment. And after I did all those, I decided not to go to the next step. It's not worth it. It's not going to be good. Or you said, yeah, it looks promising. Let's get, professional opinion. So one of my favorite quotes is from Linus Pauling, who said that, to have a good idea, one must first have a lot of ideas. He should know he won the Nobel Prize twice, and that's kind of a rare feat. So if you have more information that you'd like to get, then email us at rreardon@patentsandmore.com, 770-241-4907. We're not 24/7, but our motto is we doze but never close. We're here in the Eastern Time Zone here in the USA. And so this is Patents and More. Ron Reardon, your trusted guide through the innovation journey, signing off.